2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. And tonight our broadcast will be shifting to Atlanta, where we'll see the Hawks going up against the Memphis Grizzlies. And for Memphis, one thing we know, they feel they match up well in this contest. It's obviously an opponent they're confident going up against.
Between conferences, Phillips Arena, Atlanta, where the Hawks take to their home floor. You have two teams that love to score out of the post, but they need enough space, Brent, to do it. What's the strategy here?
Sometimes it's not just about the space, Kevin, but it's about the timing of the cuts. When a guy has a post-up opportunity, if the defense is looking at that post-up player, if you move at the right time, you can really create some incredible space for that guy, not only to score, but to sometimes find cutters who sneak behind the eyes of the defense.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So on the floor for Memphis. In the post, it's Green and Gasol together. Conley out there with Kyrie Evans. And it's Brooks at the small forward. Good on the three-point shot.
Schroeder likes to drive first, now establishing the shoot-first confidence. Love watching him rise up immediately after the catch.
Now here's Gasol at the elbow. Green. There's the screen. Evans outside. Shot clock at 6. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Shoots off the screen. No good off the front eye. And they're moving it up. Stolen by Evans. Brooks against Prince. Brooks gets to Conley. Shoots over Schroeder. And again, Memphis no good. Just over a minute and a half play here in this one. Feeds it to Devin. Back to Schroeder. He kicks it to basement. Off wide with this three. The Grizzlies have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. There's the dish to Conley. He feeds it to Evans. Memphis moving that ball around. Green, the screen. Shot clock at 6. Brooks dishes to Green. Conley inside the line. That one left.
Yeah, scoreless here early after their first 4 shots. They right now are searching for a bucket.
And that one's good.
Schroeder can be very persistent when he drives to the hole, which is why the D decided to let him pull up for that shot.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need the basket.
Conley gets the bucket.
And off the schneid here, 1 of 5, but that's a big one.
First quarter basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. They set the pick. Prince, right side. An offensive rebound. Dedmon, the layup off target.
Well, the D did their job there. Excellent contest to alter the close ranger.
Finally against Schroeder. It's deflected, but they recover it. Back to Evans. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Evans has got his first points of the game.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
He's also crafty with how he approaches it. Right there, he uses just the right move to lay it in.
Jumper off the screen, and he hits the jump shot.
Coach Budenholzer comes from a basketball family. His father coached for over 20 years. Feels like he was just born into it. Definitely what many would consider a coaching lifer.
Conley gets the bucket.
And the spacing that Conley provides from long range really has become crucial to this offense.
As to Schroeder. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts, and a chance for one more here.
Absolutely fearless. I mean, a nice subtle adjustment there going up against Wynn.
And this is the feel of a player to use his body to keep the shot from being blocked. Excellent work there. And Dennis Schroeder, a full-time starter for the first time just last season, upped his scoring average to around 18 points a game, but they really turned the keys over to what it was that they were going to do behind Dennis Schroeder and his ability. At the same time, it was the best shooting percentages he had in his very young career.
And Schroeder can score. He also averaged about 6 assists a game last season.
Well, the balance between scoring and passing in the first season of Schroeder being a first-time starter for his ball club is something that he needs to work on. That tends to point, Kevin, towards leadership, and the Hawks would like to see more of that.
The Hawks leading by 3. And Dorsey kicks it over to Schroeder. Got a hand on it. But they'll get another chance. There's a good screen. With the floater. And Davis pulls it down.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Oh, man, he'd love to have that one back. He just does everything right, but doesn't get the finish.
Now, here's Chalmers. Davis sets a screen. Chalmers passes to Davis. He doesn't hit that one. Plumlee with some nice D.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Here's Schroeder. It's stolen by Davis. Now it's Parsons. Running, he can go all the way.
Just great anticipation and awareness to come up with the steal and then trigger the fast break.
Schroeder kicks to Plumlee. Passes it to Schroeder. Plumlee in the high post. He gets that one.
And that's why Schroeder has a spot in the rotation. Coach recognizes his passing ability. He sets up his teammates well.
The Hawks have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line. The Hawks making a switch here. Taylor's checked in. That's good from Plumlee.
And continuity is one thing that lends itself to winning. You see that in Memphis, that their key players in Gasol and Conley, these guys are all getting it done.
Now here's Martin. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Here's Chalmers. Out of bounds. It will go to the Hawks.
And just not good court awareness there. You cannot afford to be careless. That just leads to bad turnovers.
Atlanta leading by 4. We've got 1:13 left here in the opening quarter. And Muscala has it in the corner. No good on the 3.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Chalmers dishes to McLemore. Back to Chalmers. Kicks it to McLemore. And the shot is long.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
Taylor passes to Bembry. Plumlee with a screen on Parsons. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. The Hawks have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line. And the first one goes. Please check in for Atlanta. And so he makes both from the line. The Grizzlies trail by 6. And Chalmers kicks to Martin. It goes out of bounds. Last touch, they say, by Martin.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
There's 31 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Here's the screen. Taylor dishes to Plumlee. Back to Taylor. The pass to Bembry. On the shot clock. Lee outside. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast. McLemore with the ball. Davis sets a screen. On deep. He got up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Hawks on top. Up 9. 2K Sports. Back in a moment here at Phillips Arena in Atlanta. Grizzlies, a team that's dealt with their share of tough playoff losses, but you talked to point guard Mike Conley, and as he told us before the game, he still feels the championship is within reach.
I feel like we're a team that's had to go through a lot of adversity. We've been through a lot of things that's set us back. We feel like we can be just as good as anybody else, and why not us?
Defense really their identity. That's how they win. And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And when you consider how Atlanta is doing, your thoughts?
A huge fan of how they have rotated here defensively, been able to challenge multiple shots.
And if you're rotating like that, it's got to be a great line of communication between all 5 guys. You see that reflected on the scores, all that trust showing up with the lead.
So on the floor for Memphis, McLemore is out there with Chalmers. Betters Chandler Parsons. And there's Davis, and it's Martin in at the force line. Taylor's shot, good.
That screen made it impossible for the defense to put up any kind of fight.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Parsons outside. Here's Martin. Here's Davis. And the layup falls. Davis has got his first points in this one.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
It's rebounded by McLemore. The Grizzlies trail by 8. Dishes it to Chalmers. Martin wide open. He fires. Good. It's Chalmers with the assist that time. Martin's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Taylor passes to Muscala. Here's Bembry. He dishes it to Lee. Hit by Lee. Plumlee with a screen on Martin. Shot clock at 5. Here's Bembry, and Davis sends it back. And here we go. The Grizzlies on a fast break. Parsons running, and so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. A match contract last season for Chandler Parsons, despite Greg his history of knee injuries. That was a bold move by the Grizzlies.
Yeah, and they needed a great two-way wing player for years. Hopefully, Parsons can get healthy and fulfill that role for this team.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That one is off. You've heard the rumors, Brett, the death of the big man, but with guys like Towns and Porzingis and others entering the league that can play on the perimeter and still have that length to make a difference inside, could we see a big man renaissance, or at least maybe see him have more of an impact than people are giving him credit for right now?
Well, I think what we're seeing is the evolution of the 5 spot, Kevin. So it's not that the big man is lost, it's that the big man's doing a lot of the things that the little man used to be asked to do, and that is shooting threes, handle the ball, make some decisions at the top of the key, be a playmaker. It's fascinating to watch guys with this sort of size and this sort of skill, and also being this young, having such a tremendous impact for the organizations they're playing for.
Poked away. Bazemore for 3. Hits the three-point line. Bazemore has got himself on the board with 3 there.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
This all set the pick for Conley. Off the pick. And that one comes up a bit short.
Like the defensive effort, they did a good job altering the mid-range shot and then making the shooter feel a bit uneasy.
Here's Taylor. It's rebounded by Memphis. Now here's Conley. 5 points in the game. Green, the screen.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Dennis Schroeder's checked in for Taylor. And Memphis also making a switch. Brooks checked in for Chandler Parsons. Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. Outside, Green. Clock at 6. And it's off from three-point range. Atlanta leading by 8. Schroeder, left side. Good work defensively by Conley. Memphis has gone 1 or 2 on 3 corners here in the second quarter. Fires it up. Marcus Gasol picks up a foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. The Hawks have gone 2 of 6 from the field in the second quarter so far. Schroeder kicks to Denver. The drive by Schroeder. Got it. Good job in the low post. Schroeder's got the lead up to 10 now for Atlanta. Grizzlies have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. They can use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. And Dennis Schroeder plays the game with a real flair. Tremendous confidence in his ability.
Well, sometimes that gets him in a bit of trouble too, Kevin. You got to minimize some of the energy that you put into the antics they're having around the game and put that kind of energy back into the game. But still a talented young point guard and a guy who wants to measure himself up against the best in the league every night.
Schroeder against Conley. Good looking screen by Gasol. Here's Evans. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
Is that a lounge chair or is that the post in the NBA? Evans showing how comfortable he is down low.
Schroeder dishes to Devin. Gasol with the steal. Here's Conley. Dedmon with the block.
He seems to be forcing just a little bit out there. He needs to play a little calmer, a little smarter, a little bit more poised if he's going to win this one. Now he's torching the D right now, hitting a high percentage of all the shots he's let fly.
Now here's Evans. He's covered by Bazemore. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Outside Conley. Shot clock at 5. Back to Brooks. A 3-ball. And there's the rebound by Dedmon. Atlanta leading by 10. Shooter kicks to Dedmon. Pass to Prince. Collins a screen on Green. Here's Prince. Here's Collins, who's back up, and the layup is up and in. Collins has got his first 2 points.
He does not play the score. I mean, he's going to continue to work his tail off on the glass and make plays just like that.
That's the kind of guy who does things that breaks the backs of their opponents because they're about wanting it more than the other guy you're up against.
And defensively, you've got to make a greater effort working over the screens.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lazy play right there. You're hoping that the guy misses the shot without really doing your job in challenging it.
And that one's good. Schroeder. We've got 1:23 left now here in the second. And brought for the Hawks a new $50 million practice facility. In 2019, their G League team begins playing in College Park.
It's pretty awesome that we're almost to every team having a G League affiliated roster that they can work with throughout the course of the season. So the Hawks became the 16th team to snatch up a G League operation, and I think that Mike Budenholzer and their organization will use that well, as they'll want player development coming out of College Park.
The Hawks making a switch here. Dorsey's checked in. Now here's Bazemore. He's guarded closely. Good D by Gasol.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
Conley kicks to Martin. The feed to Brooks. Shoots from the elbow. And he hits the jumper for 2. The Hawks lead by 10.
If they play it right, we're talking a 2 for 1.
Yeah, this is where it comes down to really good clock management, and you want to maximize each of your possessions.
Now here's Schroeder. 14 points for him. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line. That's going to send Dennis Schroeder to the free throw line. They get Marc Gasol. The Hawks have been solid at the line so far. 4 for 4.
Numbers last year for them, just about 73%, so the bottom third of the league.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Plumlee is checked in for Dwayne Dedmon. Muscala comes in for Taurean Prince. And Lee's subbed in for Kent Bazemore. That's good from Schroeder. 27 seconds left in the first half. The Grizzlies trail by 13. Davis with a screen on Schroeder. Chalmers with it. Now guarded by Schroeder. And Chalmers kicks to McLemore. Clock at 6. Here's Chalmers. Plumlee with the rebound. Plumlee's got his 3rd rebound on the night. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Hawks on top as they end the second quarter on a 14-6 run. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks. Coach, you guys have been able to limit their scoring. How have you done that?
Well, I think our activity, hopefully in the pick and rolls, is making it difficult on them, contesting every shot, denying just our activity in general.
High hands and quick feet. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for 3rd quarter basketball.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We're going to break down all the action from the first half. Dennis Schroeder playing terrific basketball in this one. He ended up with 17 points and 1 rebound. Coming in on the heels of a whopping performance in their last game, he's had no let-up in that fire here tonight. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how Atlanta played?
You got to like their offense efficiency. They were patient, took good shots. That was reflected in their high field goal percentage. They just need to keep playing smart in the second half and close this thing out. Don't get cute now.
And now, Kenny, let's get your opinion on Memphis.
To me, they looked out of sync shooting the basketball. Under 40% for the first half. Some of it was poor shot selection, but mostly it just looked like they were out of rhythm. For the second half, they need to push more for buckets in transition. Get to the foul line a little bit more. Try to get back in the flow.
That'll do it for now. The second half of action coming right up.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. One guy who's been getting it done is Dennis Schroeder.
And let's see what the defense counters with to try and control him here in the second half.
Well, he has been dominant as we expected coming into this one. Skilled and relentless.
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. The Grizzlies trail by 13. Filling out the wings, it's Bazemore and Prince. Collins is out there with Dwayne Dedmon, and it's Schroeder in at the 1. So that's the Hawks 5. Now here's Evans. Shoots over Bazemore. And it's Evans missing.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Prince. No good off the back of the rim.
Yeah, and something we always talk about, though, shot selection.
Well, being aggressive is one thing, but aggression with control is another, and you need both elements working together.
Now here's Prince following the shot by Evans. Nice D from Brooks. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Now Evans. Green, the screen. Takes the 13-footer and misses it off the right side of the rim. Atlanta leading by 13. Tyreek Evans, the 4th pick back in 2009, won Rookie of the Year.
He averaged 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists right off the bat. And it's been about the injuries in terms of what's held him back. If he can stay healthy, and that's a big if, the talent is obvious.
Now here's Brooks over Prince. The Grizzlies with another miss.
That's a big donut, folks, here to start the second half. 4 straight big miss.
And it's good, 2 points.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Timeout called the Grizzlies. Ain't no doubt about it, some of the tremendous scorers at the 2-guard spot. But Brent, who are some of the best all-around shooting guards in the NBA right now?
I think Klay Thompson sets the standard for what it is that you want in a two-way player, both defensively stepping up to the challenge and shutting down elite scorers, and then his incredible shooting ability. But there's a guy in Portland who's not far behind him, don't you think, Kevin, in that C.J. McCollum?
Yeah, McCollum is a rising player in that regard. I love the guys with the all-around game. They're hard to find because it takes some sacrifice to play both ends hard. And if there's one thing the Hawks have hung their hats on, it's been their defense.
Very disciplined across the board. They take charges, they protect the paint, they do a great job with their communication. And even though they get their share of blocks and steals, I think they do a great job of avoiding those cheap fouls.
Defense, the Hawks haven't given up any points here in the second half. Davis sets a screen. A 3. They get it again. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Clearly a foul.
And JaMychal Green, drafted out of Alabama, played a few seasons in the D-League, Greg, but in his third season, a full-time starter in the league with Memphis.
And the Grizzlies like his ability to space the floor from that power forward position. It shows you where the game is going. Face-up skills and mobility coveted at that 4 spot.
That free throw, no good.
And you think about it, for so long, the Grizzlies were kind of the throwback team. I mean, they had the 2 bangers in the front court, and they really rejected that whole pace and space movement. But finally, they've come around, retooling their lineups to get more shooting on the floor.
And Greg, you look at the changes for the Grizzlies, looking for versatility and adaptability in their play.
Yeah, grit and grind, still the identity, but you got to be able to space the floor and cover, pick and roll. The era of a post-up centric basketball team doesn't seem to be in the future.
Atlanta making a switch here. Taylor's checked in, and Memphis also making a switch. Parsons is checked in. Conley, the pass to Davis. He kicks to Green. 6 to shoot from past the arc. Gets the rebound. Eyes again, and the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
Memphis shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game. Members checked in for Atlanta. And the Grizzlies enjoying the longest stretch of sustained success in franchise history. Great 7 consecutive seasons making the postseason.
And this group has gotten as far as the Western Conference Finals. And a lot to be said for that consistency. But of course, everyone's in this for the rings. Interesting to see where they go from here to turn the corner into a true contender.
Now here's Bazemore. Charity stripe shot. That's good on the jump shot. Bazemore's got 5 points so far.
You might want to close a little faster to Bazemore, especially in the mid-range where he's been pretty consistent.
The Grizzlies trail by 16. Evans kicks to Green. Back to Evans. Feeds it to Conley. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Parsons with it. Guarded now by Prince. And Parsons gets it to go.
Got to give a ton of credit to the screener there. That was a perfect pick to give his teammate the space to knock down the shot.
Outside, Taylor. They set the screen. Takes the 3. Green with the rebound. Green's got 6 rebounds in the game. Evans dishes to Conley. With some arc, unloads from 13. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way.
You can see that Evans is looking to take the catch-and-shoot J anytime he gets one.
And now, the first time out called here for the Hawks. And Brent, 14 years in the NBA, you spent about half your time on the defensive end. Of all the guys you were matched up against, who was surprisingly difficult to cover?
It's funny, Kevin, because a lot of coaches would tell you I did not spend half of my time on the defensive end.
Well, I know better. I know better.
Surprisingly difficult to stop, I would tell you, it would be Mitch Richmond. Many years in Sacramento playing for the Kings. He was known as the Rock, and I can tell you why. Running into him and his physicality as a 2-guard was very, very difficult to stop. One of the game's greatest 2-guards.
Sturdy, wasn't he? He was thick. He was hard to move is what I think about.
He was very thick and physical, which was something that I was certainly not. And they also ran a myriad of screens for him on every possession. The most potent offensive player they had was Mitch Richmond, and they would get him open every time. So a very difficult coverage.
So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Marc Gasol is checked in for Deontay Davis. Jarrell Martin comes in for Jermichael Green. McLemore's checked in for Tyreke Evans. And it's Chalmers in for Mike Conley. Now here's Lee. And Plumlee kicks to Dorsey. The dish to Plumlee. They set the pick. He feeds it to Dorsey. And the three off target. The Grizzlies trail by 12. McLemore, the pass to Chalmers. Martin dishes to Gasol. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good.
And he knows how to make good use of his size in that low block. And Gasol's inside game is very refined. There's a smoothness to how he approaches it.
Now here's Plumlee. Dorsey uses the glass to finish the layup. Dorsey's got his first 2 points.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, on the defensive end, this is a joke. The lack of awareness is exactly why this team is so far behind.
Count that one. Martin's got 5 now.
Textbook, nice pass, great catch, even better finish.
And Dorsey kicks to Muscala. Pass to Dorsey. There's the 3. Knocks down the 3-ball. And the Hawks lead by 13.
The defense looked lost there. Get out your compass. No excuses. You got to guard the perimeter.
And Chalmers kicks to Gasol. Here's the screen. Passes it to Chalmers. Wide open. That one goes in. Chalmers has got his second basket. The Hawks leading by 11. And Dorsey kicks to Muscala. Hit by Lee. Parsons against Prince. Here's Dorsey. And a miss there on the triple. Memphis has gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. McLemore, the pass to Chalmers. McLemore dishes to Martin. Gasol, a screen on Lee. Here's McLemore. Will not go. This is off the front iron. The Hawks have gone just a bit under 50% from the field since halftime. 5 out of 11. Prince against Parsons. Plumlee sets the pick for Prince. And the Hawks getting another basket right there.
My goodness, how about the degree of difficulty on that shot?
Martin pitch to McLemore. Left side Gasol. And he's good at the buzzer. Wow!
Great awareness of the clock to end the quarter.
You like to finish things on a positive note, and he times that one beautifully.
And so it's Atlanta. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside. That's where they've gotten their best production tonight. We'll get right back to the action when we return. Let's listen in on what Mike Budenholzer had to say to his team in the huddle.
Be more committed in the paint. Go block a shot. Go get a board. Get more active in the paint. Give us some more.
That's Mike Budenholzer trying to ramp up the aggressiveness in all phases of the game for his team.
Well, I think he senses that his guys are kind of holding back a little, that they aren't really getting everything out of each possession, and they need to start now.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. On the court for Memphis to start the fourth. Chalmers is out there with Evans, and it's Marc Gasol, then it's Brooks, and it's Martin in at the 4 spot.
And that's not nearly the kind of defense that's going to prevent a player of his ability from scoring.
Here's Dorsey, following the basket by Marc Gasol. Here's Schroeder, rejected by Gasol. Chalmers passes to Brooks. It's stolen by Muscala. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Mario Chalmers picks one up.
Yeah, you got to be careful with Schroeder. He's explosive, And he's good at finding his way to the line because he uses that quickness well.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That's good from Schroeder. Hawks making a switch here. Bazemore is checked in. Jermichael Green, he's checked in for Memphis. Mike Conley comes in for Mario Chalmers. Schroeder hits them both. The Grizzlies trail by 13. Evans outside. Kicks it to Green. Memphis moving it around. Out of bounds. It will go to the Hawks. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in from the squad. The Hawks leading by 13. A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone right now. Schroeder against Conley. Schroeder kicks to Dead. Kicks it out to Prince. 4 on the clock. Shot off the pick. And it's Schroeder missing.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
Now here's Conley. Off the screen. Rebound by the Hawks. Dedmon's got 5 rebounds tonight. And here's Bazemore. It's Briggs on the wing. Brooks covering. Shots good by Dedmon. And the Hawks lead by 15.
Teammates love Dedmon because of his willingness to give up his body on screen plays like that.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies. And Brent, for the Hawks, you go back to the summer of 2016. How big was it for them losing their all-star, Al Horford?
Well, the rumor is there wasn't too much of a financial difference between what the Hawks were offering and what the Celtics ended up giving Al Horford. And they wanted to have him back and maybe trade Paul Millsap for assets. That all did not happen, and it gutted the team a little bit because of Horford's versatility. You could see that reflected in some of the offensive numbers from the Hawks last year.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, Memphis' head coach had some words for the team during the break, and he put the challenge in front of his players. He said, now's the time when we take control. This is our time, not theirs. Let's go out there and take it to them. We'll see if we got them going, guys.
Here's Gasol. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Conley's got 3 assists in the game.
And his teammates have to step up just a little bit more. He's been lights out. Needs a bit more support.
Now here's Schroeder. There's the pass to Dedmon. And that one is good.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
The Grizzlies trail by 17. They've been looking at a sink offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And that's Evans penetrating. Shoots over Bazemore. And it's Evans missing.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And going into last season, Kent Bazemore commanding a salary in excess of $17 million. Greg, how did an undrafted player coming off his first starting season in the league get that kind of salary?
Timing is everything. Reflection of the market. We remember he had that huge spike in the cap. It's also a bet on his upside and work ethic. And with Bazemore, you see that the dedication to improve is there, and that's what made the Hawks comfortable with the contract.
The first free throw is good.
Bazemore showing what every lefty has, and that's craftiness. Just uses his body very well and takes smart shots within the offense.
that one misses, so he goes 1 for 2.
There he is, the product out of Kelford, North Carolina. Kent Bazemore has come a very long way during his short time in the NBA. Speaking of Kelford, that's got to be one of those places where everybody knows who you are, and Bazemore has that easygoing vibe when you get a chance to meet him.
Now here's Conley. Great use of the pick to create room for the jumper.
Yeah, and coming off that pick there, Conley able to get to his sweet spot and convert.
Schroeder kicks to Collins. Bazemore dishes to Schroeder. Pass to Prince. Collins a screen on Brooks. Prince the pass to Collins. He got right to the cup using that screen. And hard scramble beginnings for Bazemore. Winners without heat. His mom worked 3 jobs to support the family. But what a success story for Kent Bazemore.
Yeah, an incredible story. You can see the work ethic that Kent Bazemore has and how those things have paid off for him. This is a guy who went undrafted, waited for an opportunity, and then pounced on it. The thing is with Kent Bazemore now, are you the type of player who wants to spend the money that you've earned, or do you want to earn the money that you've been given?
And that one falls for Collins. The Grizzlies trail by 19. Conley with it. Good looking screen by Gasol. And it's Conley penetrating. Terrific design on the pick play. And he lays it in.
Well, some guys just take pride in how they set screens. It might seem like a small part of the game, but as you saw there, it can have a huge impact in getting a shooter an open look at the basket.
Now here's Schroeder. Dishes to Prince. Steps back and fires. Misses off the left iron.
Those are the types of looks that you got to finish deep in the paint and limited defensive effort.
And you know what? Very close to a three-point play right there.
Still fresh on the minds is that 2015 season for the Atlanta Hawks when they won 60 games and a trip to the Eastern Conference Finals, but they've never quite recaptured that magic, and most of those players are gone, so time to rebuild.
And he knocks down the first one. And Brett, the Hawks win total steadily diminishing over the last 2 seasons. What do you think happened?
Well, I think there's a couple of things going on. Maybe a team figured out some of what they do systematically, and then they lost a lot of the guys that were part of that team that won so many games a few years ago. So they're going to younger players that don't have as much experience, and younger players that don't have as much experience in the system. It takes a little while to get that stuff back.
Now here's Bazemore. He dishes it to Schroeder. Collins a screen on cover. Here's Schroeder. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. Gasol. And so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game. Jarrell Martin's checked in for Marc Gasol.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
And he makes the first.
And team-wide, they've been terrific from the line here. Just one of those nights when the confidence has spread from one player to the next.
And he can't hit the second. The Grizzlies trail by 16. Conley dishes to Evans. The feed down to Brooks. Martin with the screen for Brooks. That one, no good. Prince with the defensive effort. The Hawks have gone 5 of 8 shooting as they've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. Devin gets it over to Schroeder. Feeds it to Prince. The Hawks again can't hit. For Memphis, they've gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Hawks.
This was a very...
Okay. That's how you attack. Wow. Full speed ahead. I mean, they have been in control since the opening tip, and that may have sealed the deal.
I can imagine a lot of things right now, but a comeback, that's not one of them.
Brooks the best to Conley. Martin with a screen on Schroeder. Conley inside the line. Wide open, couldn't capitalize.
You got to be a little bit questioning of the defense because I'm sure they feel foolish for giving that guy that look. They survived.
And saving their best for last. Tremendous run here to seal the win.
And you could just see everything coming together like a perfect storm, and they just rolled on through.
Green, the screen. Here's Brooks. And no good that time. So Atlanta will take it the other way. Prince kicks it over to Schroeder. Hawks passing it around. Here's Dedmon, and by Green. Dedmon dishes to Schroeder, over Conley, and it's Schroeder missing. Now here's Evans. He's covered by Bazemore. Evans outside. Shoots over Bazemore. Can't get it to fall.
Incredible effort from Bazemore there, making the shot release as uncomfortable as it gets.
And so Atlanta takes this one by a big margin. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense, potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan.